Get everybody, welcome to the latest issue or episode of Thunder Down Under. So, it's taken me a little bit longer to do this video than I would have liked because I've been really busy working and selling my 180 and buying another car. So, what do I tell you? I suppose I'll just tell you what happened. So I know, firstly, that I get a lot of messages. Not a lot, a number of messages from people getting upset at me because I buy and sell my race cars and chop and change around. And I get your concern, but also you have to understand that I kind of have a loose plan, and that is to get to a certain type of car. And at time, I suppose a lot of my racing, and I suppose a lot of you guys would understand this is a bit of a compromise because of budget. We can't just go out and buy a Pantech and a race car and have a team. And I certainly applaud anyone that can. I have no negative feelings towards that. Mate, I'd be doing it if I could just have a team and a car prepared and I just go race whenever I feel like. Hell, I'd be traveling the world doing it, I can tell you right now. So I think that's fantastic. But guys like myself, we work hard, but we just haven't made all that kind of money. We make enough money, I suppose, but not crazy money. Anyway, enough of that money. So I raced at Sandown, and obviously those guys people following along will know that I did quite well, and I had a great weekend. And I was like, I'm going to stick with the 180. It's a fun car. I've put a lot of work into it. It's got a bit of sentimental value because I've had it for a long time. I've had mates like Nath help me, and Gary, and my dad, and my brother, everyone. It's sort of one of those things. I feel quite connected to that car. But I had a gentleman called Peter message me and just say, hey, do you know anyone who could be interested in my car? And I'd messaged him a couple of years ago asking how he was going with his car, if he was going to race it and stuff. And so I called him and I was like, holy shit, I want this car. This is the car that I need and want. I wonder if I can make this happen. So fortunately, there was also a young man, Nath, who was looking at my car and was going to buy my Z because I wasn't going to sell the 180 anymore. Anyway, I called him, I think, called and just said, hey, look, I'm thinking of actually selling the 180 now. Do you want that one instead? Anyway, he did. The short version of that long story is that he did buy it. We sorted all that out. Went and looked at this new car, and Pete was an awesome guy. The car does need some work, but a lot of the big stuff, all the big stuff is done. It's a lot of finishing up, which will take a little bit of time, but it's a great car, and we're really happy with obtaining it. What can I say? I'm actually stoked. And so the old man came with me, and we went and had a look at it, and it's an awesome car. So, and the 350 is still for sale. So, what car did I buy? Well, I've already leaked that online. I bought the X Dave McGuinness Calibra. It is a beautiful car. Anyone that knows the car will know that it's very well put together. Dave works on the Aston, the Duggan Aston now, and Dave's been super helpful with information. So he sold the car to a gentleman and did a lot of changes, and then Pete, I think, has done some changes or finishing some stuff off. So it's not everything's not exactly the same, but the engine, driveline, all that, brakes, suspension, everything is still the same. It's got some new tin work that was done and some new bar work put in by Riverside Racing, Gary Gunn, which to improve safety and things like that, and just to freshen it up. They have changed a few things on things like the exhaust, headers, and fuel tank location. So the fuel tank was originally located within the wing mounts, which you're not allowed to do anymore. I don't know if you ever were, but you definitely aren't allowed to do it now. So they've moved the tank, but the tank is jammed in there, and being a finicky bastard that I am, I've dropped that off to get a little bit taken off it so that it's not jammed in between the roll cage so much. It's got a little bit of movement and easier to get in and out. Not that it's something you want to get out all the time or you need to, but if I do, I want to be able to remove it. And I think there are some things that have been done to the car that are not great for ease of working on it. Example, the driver's side header, the front header, fouls the rocker covers. So I'm going to modify that just slightly so that we can get rocker covers off at the track, because it's something that we need to do regularly to check things. After speaking to Tony Cox and speaking to Gary Roberts, it's something that we want to get in there and check clearances and things after every race. Yeah, so I've got to finish off the tin work. I've been working a lot on mounting the seat. I'm pretty tall. I'm 6'1", and I only just fit in the car. So I think Dave McGuinness was tall. But yeah, the way the bar work is, it makes it a bit hard. It's all a bit of a compromise. My legs are quite bent. I'm pretty much stuffed in there. I'm using a sprint car seat because of my neck issues. I've got to look after my neck from the injuries from a motorcycle accident. I won't go into all that, but anyway, I need to. So I'll be wearing. I've got a full containment seat to stop any side movements. Obviously, the Hans device stops front and rear movements. But yeah, super cool car. It's got a Dodge in it. Did I say that? It's got a NASCAR Dodge motor. It's got a 6-speed H pattern and an independent 9-inch rear end. So yeah, I think that's enough. I'll go into detail more later on. If you want to know anything specifically about the car, let me know. I'm not going to go into why I've gone back to a full space frame car. I know that I spoke a lot about in the past that the Honda was a bit too much for me. And you'll be like, Rand, why have you gone and bought a car that's equally as brutal? And I suppose the short version of the answer to that is that I've learnt a lot. I've come a long way in my knowledge of race cars. I'm still learning every single day. My driving is more settled. I still have a long way to go. I am an amateur. I'm not professing any brilliance. I'm just a bloke having a go and enjoying themselves. This car will definitely be a lot more maintenance and a lot more money to run the car. But the good thing about it is that I have a lot more connections now, a lot more understanding. I will be selling the Z. The Z is for sale. I will be just sticking with one car. So I think that'll make some of the people that send me messages of concern and possibly some negativity at times happy. Yeah, so I don't know. Enjoy the ride. Enjoy seeing what I do. Thanks for tuning in. Thunder Down Under, Machine Cult, Evil as Fuck Racing, demonic powered Dodge Calibras that I've called Dragula.